Welcome to our last lesson, lesson number 8 for accounting ethics. Our last lesson this term is based on reading chapters 22 and 23 of the text. These are quite brief, and so this video will also be relatively brief, I hope. If chapter 22 reads, Rule 505, Form and practice of names. How does one name an accounting firm? What are the accepted standards and principles involved? And we list several here. If we have a partnership and all of the partners die except for one, the remaining partner may carry on the company name for an additional 2 years, up to 2 years, even though he or she is practicing solo. So this is useful, I would imagine, for advertising purposes, and it's allowed under the regulations. For a firm to claim membership in the American Institute of CPAs, this is the firm, not the individual, then all partners of the firm must be members as well. If even one is not, the firm cannot claim to be a member of the AICPA. And finally, a firm may use a fictitious business name as long as it's not misleading. So if we were to name the company $25 Audits, that would be highly misleading. But you can call it Kangaroo Court Company and Friends, and anything like that is allowable. Of course, with a fictitious business name, that name must be registered and published in the newspaper according to state regulations, and that I'm pretty sure is universal in all states for fictitious business names. We turn to chapter 23 then, disciplinary system of the profession, that is the CPA profession, and of the state regulatory boards. Every state has a board that regulates CPA practices, and they may from time to time discipline the practitioners. A state board may be impaneled to discipline any CPA. The outcomes range from acquittal, hey, you didn't do anything, great, to admonishment, don't do that again, to suspension, and that can be for up to 2 years, and finally expulsion, and these, of course, are in order of increasing severity. If convicted of a felony, the CPA license is revoked, and the member is expelled from the AICPA. They may still practice public accounting, but not certified public accounting. And I'm not quite exactly sure that's what the text reads. Not sure how that is enforced. I would assume once you have lost your certificate, you have lost the option also of practicing that profession. 2 examples are given here. One is fraudulent tax returns, and the other is a failure to file a tax return. Either one of those will get you expelled. Obviously, that's what CPAs do, taxes. And so if they're not doing the right job, of course. All right, so we understand now sanctions imposed by the profession and by the various state organizations. We've described some of the sanctions. We've identified the change in reporting entity, and that would be the case where the partners have died. And finally, understanding changes in the California legislation after Enron. And here we don't have that material in our book. I don't know how it's posed in questions, but Enron, just for your information, was one of the largest companies in America. One day it was trading for $25 a share, millions and millions of share, multi-billion-dollar corporation. Day 2, gone, bankrupt, broke, and people lost an enormous amount of money. As a result, there was also a loss of faith in the stock market. Congress acted quickly to pass Sarbanes-Oxley, SOX, in 2002 in an attempt to restore faith. If you have faith in the stock market, good for you. I don't anymore, just for fun. Discussion questions include discussion of sanctions imposed by public opinion. Now that's a kind of an interesting concept. The text and the code don't, or the tax preparation booklet does not really bring this up. Public opinion. So you're welcome to write as you please on that. Number 2, discuss sanctions imposed by the accounting professional organizations. We've done that. We noted there are 4 levels of sanctions, and you can recap that briefly. Discussion of general power and continuing education. And that is something we did not come across. And so I will accept pretty much any answer you give me on that. And finally, discuss the use of credentials and name of company. And again, here we talked about what happens as partners die and leave. Are we allowed to carry on? And the answer is yes, until you're the last man standing. Okay, I hope that helps you in your final lesson. Congratulations, you've done extremely well on all of the assignments. I subtracted very, very few points, just occasionally, for information that should have been included, but uniformly A's and A minuses in all your reports. And in your testing, I see that you've also done extremely well. So I look forward to assigning excellent grades to everyone involved. And the next term, beginning Monday, the following week anyway, we will continue with taxation number 2. See you then.